Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you all see all the syllabus put in the classroom app? Yes, Sharia, Safia?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
For both the subjects, I have put it in the subject, what you call that? Folders. Okay. Did you read the chapter? Any doubt in what I did in the last class?
I have a question.
What you want to know?
Ma'am, in the when you did 6.5 maths, I was not there, so there's no recording on the YouTube channel.
6.5 of maths you're talking, right?
Yes.
That I will upload.
Okay.
I'm talking about science. Any doubt of the previous chapter, previous lecture?
No, ma'am.
We start doing the intext question 3.4. Yes. Write the name of expected compound formed between hydrogen and sulfur. Now here you have to remember that hydrogen is always written as H2. So the expected compound will be H2 and sulfur is written as S. So you will write the name of the compound as H2S, hydrogen sulfide. Got it? Nitrogen.
Teacher, sulfur is 2, right? So H2, right?
Yes.
No, teacher, what I'm asking is hydrogen sulfide. If you mix hydrogen and sulfur, you get hydrogen sulfide. So why we should write sulfide means S2. We have to write S2, right?
Now see, if we get into the chemical equation, I will explain to you why it will not be 2. Wait. Actually, hydrogen sulfide is always written as H2S. Okay. It is not written as H2S2. I'll show you why. Just give me a minute. I'll just share the screen with you. See, it is like this. This part that you can see. Can you see the screen better?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. This yellow part that you can see is the sulfur. This is a molecule, okay? hydrogen sulfide molecule picture you can see. This is sulfur. And here, these two things that you can see are the white balls that you can see are hydrogen. And that is why we write H2S. Because two molecules of hydrogen, when combined with one molecule of sulfur, it becomes hydrogen sulfide. You're getting it, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Safia, have you understood, beta?
Yes, teacher. There are only two hydrogen atoms and one sulfur.
Yes.
That's why. Okay.
I'll show you ammonia and hydrogen. Sorry, nitrogen and hydrogen is the next question, no, that we have. What is our next question? Nitrogen and hydrogen, I feel. I'll explain that also. Show you the right picture where you understand. This one. Do you know what happens when nitrogen and hydrogen are mixed together? Do you know what happens? Do you know the chemical reaction?
H2O, ma'am.
Can you see this? When nitrogen and hydrogen are come together, or when they mix together to make a compound, they make ammonia. Okay. And the formula for ammonia is NH3. And how do you have that? Now, two atoms here. Can you see of hydrogen? Yes or no?
Yeah.
And here nitrogen, you can see this. See, I'll color it for you if you want. See how many of nitrogen in the outer orbit? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many are needed to complete one nitrogen orbit? 3 are required. Yes or no? 8 electrons are needed to complete, right? 1,
Yes, ma'am.
2, and 3. We have 5 of the nitrogen electrons. So to complete the orbit, what is required? Tell me. 3 hydrogen are required. Am I right? So when nitrogen and hydrogen make up for becoming one compound, they become ammonia, and ammonia is written as NH3 because 3 electrons of hydrogen will be required to complete the orbit. Do you get me, bacha log? Safia, is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Sure, no?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this sure I needed. There should be confidence in your sure. If I feel that you are not understood, I can still find ways by which I can explain it to you. What is our next question? Magnesium and oxygen. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
See, when magnesium and oxygen, they react with each other, then you have magnesium oxide. This compound is formed. Okay. Now you need to know that the valency of magnesium. What is the valency of magnesium? 2. What is valency of oxygen? Do you know the valency of oxygen? Again 2. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you learned the valencies?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Apia, have you gone through the valency table?
No, teacher, not yet. I didn't learn that.
See, I'll show you the valency table. These are the charges, no? Have they given us valency table? Yes. Can you see this, beta?
Yeah.
What is the valency of magnesium?
2.
2. What is the valency of oxygen?
2.
2. Okay. Now, if you go to see their charges, okay, that we learned in the ions, you will see oxygen they have not given you here, but see here it is very clearly mentioned. Magnesium is 2 positive ions and oxygen is 2 negative ions. So when they come together, they form an ionic bond. Actually, it is magnesium 2 valency, oxygen 2 valency. One is to give away, one is to take. So when they come together as a compound, that 2 gets cancelled and you have nothing written. So you get MgO as the compound. Do you understand, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
So how are you going to write these answers? You will have to write their names as well as their formulas. So hydrogen and sulfur, you will write hydrogen sulfide. Okay. And you are going to write this as H2S. Then the next is nitrogen and hydrogen. The result, the compound is ammonia. And you will write it as NH3. Magnesium and oxygen, it is magnesium oxide. And you will write the formula as MgO. Getting it?
Yes, teacher.
Any doubt in this, beta? If you all want, you all can write this down also. See, I'm showing you those screens again. Write this down if you want to remember how it is like that. Magnesium has to give away 2, oxygen has to receive 2, and therefore you have magnesium oxide as complete. You don't have to write anything there. If you want, you can write this down. Written? Today Barira is absent. Was she there for
No,
the other
ma'am.
lectures?
Yes, ma'am.
I will written this down, magnesium oxide. You can write for nitrogen also. You can say the valency of nitrogen is 3. And therefore it takes 1 of hydrogen. So 3 atoms of hydrogen is required to complete the orbit. And therefore we get NH3, ammonia. Written it down, beta.
Yes, teacher.
And you can write it for hydrogen sulfide also if you want. That two of hydrogen molecules combining with 1 molecule of sulfur. You can write it like that. 2 hydrogen plus sulfur, one sulfur. Because sulfur needs, the valency is 2. Therefore 2 hydrogen and then sulfur. Why do we not write it as sulfur and then hydrogen? Why do we write it as hydrogen and then sulfur? Because of the reactivity. You have to always name it on the basis of its reactivity. Hydrogen is highly reactive and that is why we write H first. Getting it?
Yeah.
All this is also given in
Yes,
your
ma'am.
textbook. So if you read, you will understand. You can draw these H2 dots, sulfur 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 dots. That means it needs these 2 dots to complete its outermost orbit to come come together as a compound. And the compound that we get is hydrogen sulfide. Done, beta?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
Now can we go to the next question, the second question? Now propose the formulas and the names of the compounds between, now ions are given. Okay. Potassium and iodide ion. How will you write this? Potassium. So what will that become? When I say potassium iodide, it will become potassium iodide, na? I'll show you there. They have not given you anywhere like that, but you have to understand potassium plus iodine will be potassium iodide. So we can write it potassium iodide. Simply write it like that, no problem. And you can label it as Ki. K is the short form for potassium. Do you know this much or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Sodium and sulfate. Tell me what will it become? Sodium sulfate?
Yes, ma'am.
Sodium sulfate. How will you write sodium sulfate? Sodium is what? Na. Correct? Sodium is SO. Sodium sulfate. How can we write it? Sodium sulfate? NaSO4. How do we get Na and SO4? We have to write Na2SO4. How do we get this 2 and 4? Na and SO is okay. I understand how you get it. But Na2 and SO4, how will you get? We have to study the table of the ions. See here. Can you see the sulfate ion? How much is sulfate ion given here? SO4, 2 negative. Am I right? Yes or no? Can you see this, bacha log? And we have to make a compound with sodium. How much is sodium? Ions, if I have to count. Can you see sodium ion Na? This -2 that is there here will come here. And your formula will become Na2SO4. Do you get me?
Yes.
If you want to check it with this, you can see potassium and then they said iodide. Can you see this potassium iodide here? So we had potassium ka K and iodide. Here you have 1 plus and you have 1 minus. What is that 1 plus and 1 minus become? It will get cancelled. And that is why the formula that you get is going to be Ki. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Teacher,
Now
we
the
will
next
have
is,
questions like this in the exams. Then we have to learn all the valencies,
yeah, you
right?
have to learn these tables. I told you that class also, no? These tables are very
Okay.
important.
Okay, teacher.
If you don't know these tables, you won't be able to do chemistry at all. Now
Yeah,
see,
that's
like,
what I was.
yeah, you will be blank, totally blank. Oh, where you are going? My page started moving. We were on which chapter? Third chapter. I need 3.4, correct? Yeah, this page. Ammonium and chloride. So I need to go and do ammonium and chloride. Let us look into the table. Do we have chloride and ammonium? Yes. We have both on this page. Did you all find it? I have chloride here. Correct? And what do I want? Ammonium. Where is ammonium? Ammonium nahi chahiye, ammonium chahiye. Have they given us ammonium, beta? Here. Can you see aluminum? Can you see this better? So if I write aluminum, what will I get? Al 3 positive, correct? And what do I get in chlorine or chloride? 1 negative. Can you see this? Cl negative. So I write Cl negative. Now how do I solve it? This gets multiplied here, crisscross. So aluminum becomes 1. Al1, which you need not write, and Cl becomes 3 because crisscross multiplication is happening. So what is the formula that I will get? AlCl3. Do you understand? It's going to get crisscross. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, teacher.
Sharya, Safia, Pranav. Is it very
Yes,
clear, beta?
teacher. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So see, I go back to the questions. If you want, I will write it for you so that you understand. And the revision is happening one more time. Potassium is K positive. Okay, and iodide is I negative. So it gets neutralized, and the compound that we get, the ionic compound is, ionic compound is Ki. Got it, beta? Now, if I talk about sodium sulfate, what did I tell you? Sodium is just 1 positive, no? 1 positive. But this sulfate that we have 4 atoms and the charge is 2 negative. Am I right? So the compound that will be formed is Na2, because this 2 is going to get crisscrossed multiplied. So it's going to become Na2, and there we have 1 only. So when we multiply SO4 with 1, it is going to be SO4 only. Am I right? Do you understand, beta? Sodium sulfate,
Yes,
aluminum and chloride. So if I talk about aluminum, it is Al. What is the charge? 3 negative. Correct? And Cl is positive. Now nothing is written, that means 1 positive. So that 1 will get multiplied with Al. So I get Al1. I don't write that 1. And Cl will get multiplied by this negative 3 that is there, and it will come down becoming positive. It will become AlCl3. The name will be aluminum chloride. So you can write the name. Aluminium. Al. Okay. Aluminium chloride. Okay. And this is going to be sodium sulfate. So in the exam, you should be able to write the name as well as you should be able to write the formula. And this is going to be potassium iodide. Iodide, iodine is different. Huh? Don't get confused. Iodine and iodide are different. Do you get it better? Now with what I taught you, in the second question. I made it very easy for you to do the third question. What are we supposed to do to make the formula? Crisscross. Yes or no? Now look at the third question. Here I have Hg2 positive Cl negative. What is the formula that is going to be developed out of this? Can you tell me? Hg. Yes. Hg what? -1. Cl is -1. That means 1 is there. So multiplied by 1 will be Hg1. I don't need to write that 1. Okay. So I move to Cl now. Okay. Cl will get multiplied with that 2 positive. So what am I going to get? HgCl2. Do you get me right?
Yes,
Now is the formula making becoming easier?
yes.
Safia, Sharia, Pranav, because I can see Sufyan, I know he's nodding his head and I can see that confidence on his face. So he's able
Yes,
to.
teacher.
Safia, you're able to do it?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now look at the other formula here. Pb2 positive and PO3 negative 4. Now what happens in this case? That 3 negative is going to go and get multiplied here, correct? Yes or no? So what am I going to write? I'm going to write PB3. Correct? Now what do I do with this 2 that is there? I already have PO4. That is going to remain as it is. And I will multiply this entire with the 2 positive that is there. This is how I will write. Do you get it? Sufyan, Safia, do you get it, beta? Sharia?
Yes, teacher. Got it.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now same thing we will do for the next one. Now BA, what am I supposed to do? Tell me. Now see, one thing you have to understand here. These charges are going to get neutralized. 2 positive, 2 negative is going to go off. Am I right? Yes or no? So now what is remaining? BaSO4. That is going to be your formula. If you have the same number of charge, please neutralize it, cut it. And then whatever is left, you can go ahead. Understood, beta?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
Once you know the table, tell me, is it difficult to write these?
No.
So what is the thing that you have to do? Learn. There is no other way, no shortcut for chemistry. You will have to learn. You should be able to do these sums. If you want, I can mark it for you, which we can discuss in the next class as revision. Question number 3. Average mass. Symbol. Please do it at home. Classify. What is the mass? How many atoms? Convert into mole. Chemical formulas of the compounds. That's all. I will mark the questions, which you can try doing it at home. 18, 16, 14, 13, 12, 5, 4, and 3. and we can discuss in the next science class. Now from the next science class, my revision classes are starting. Okay. I'm going to do important questions of the terminal questions of all the chapters which are going to come for your exam. I'm going to pick up all the important questions. See, I will do more of practical questions. Theoretical you can learn and write for your exam, but these questions where you have to apply a lot of logic behind, I will discuss these questions with you. So don't miss your classes from the next class because they are very important from your exam point of view. Have I made myself very clear? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Join with a textbook, book and pen so that you will be able to copy down quickly. If you don't still, other than what I am doing in revision, if you don't still understand anything other than that also, you can discuss. Okay.